Hey guys, welcome back. In the last lecture, we added friendly ID gem to our course project to replace numeric active record object IDs from the URL. Now let's discuss a case that a customer has booked some tickets but suddenly he wants to cancel all or some tickets, then he might ask for refund for the amount he has paid. Okay, so from this lecture to upcoming few lectures, we will be working on a feature where we will allow customers to ask for refund money if they want to cancel their tickets before the workshop starts. Okay, and we will definitely add and validate some rules to cancel the booking, but that thing we will do in some upcoming lectures. And this is a kind of feature that you can find on various online platforms where you book some order and then later you want to cancel your order and ask for refund. And I'm sure after following lectures for this feature you will be able to understand such scenarios and can work on this. Okay, so let's start with the implementation. So as the first step for achieving this feature, we will add a unique order number for every booking, and then we will use this order number to identify the booking for which customer want a refund. Okay, so let's generate a migration first to add the order number to the booking table. Okay, so open the terminal, and into the terminal let's run the command rails g migration add order number to bookings. Add order number to bookings. Okay, and this will be a string attribute. Okay, so order number and then sorry, order number and bookings. Sorry, string. Generate this command. Generate the migration. The migration has been generated. Now let's run this migration to add this attribute into the bookings table. So let's run rails db migrate. This will add this field to our bookings table. Okay, and in schema.rb you can see that order number has been added. Okay, now as the next thing, let's open the booking model and add a validation for this order number attribute. Okay, so go to the app models, and here you can find the bookings model. Okay, so let's add a validation here, and we will add two validation that the order number must be present or cannot be null, and the order number for every booking must be a unique. Okay, so let's add validates order number and then add presence true and uniqueness true. Okay, the presence true validation will check availability of this attribute or value of this attribute, and uniqueness will check that no two bookings can have or not more than one bookings can have the same order number. Okay, now we will add active record callbacks to set the value of this order number, because we will set auto generated string for the order number, so we will use active record callback here. Okay, and here I will explain the difference between two callbacks, that is before validation and before create. Okay, first we will go through the before create callback and then replace this before validation callback. Okay, and here I by explaining the both before create and before validation, I mean that you can identify that when to use before create and when to use before validate. Okay, so let's start adding or defining the before create callback. Okay, so here you can see that we already have a callback that is after create. Okay, so we will add a before create above this before create and assign a method to this callback. So we will add generate order number. Okay, so generate order number. Okay, and now it's time to define this method. Okay, so copy this and define a new method here, def generate order number, and inside this order this method we will assign a value to order number of a booking. Okay, so here we will use self dot order number. Okay, and assign a value to it, let's say booking, and here we will add some combination of unique string. Okay, so we will use secure random to generate a unique hexadecimal string or alphanumeric string. Okay, so let's use secure random. Secure random is a module that by using that you can generate random string, UUID and tokens as well. Okay, so dot hex, and let's provide its length 5, so it will generate the uh, random string of 10 characters. Okay, and now let's add uppercase method. This will capitalize each and every letter in this random string. Okay, now save this. Now it's time to mention this order number into the booking confirmation email, so that customer can also see that what is the unique order number associated with their booking, and they can use that booking number for canceling the tickets. Okay, so open the booking confirmation html.erb template from app views booking smeller. Okay, so go to the views, and here you can find the booking smeller, and here we have a template booking confirmation.html.erb, and below the customer name we will mention that what is the order id text, or what is the order id and how what is the importance of it. Okay, so let's use the s3 tag here, and inside this s3 tag what we will do that here is your booking id, and let's provide the value of booking order number. Okay, so at the rate booking dot order number. Okay, save this, and let's add some more text that we want to tell customer that this booking id is unique per order, and this booking id is required whenever they make a request for refunding some amount, or whenever they want to cancel tickets and want refund in their account. Okay, so let's add that this booking id is unique per order, and will be required, will be for requesting refunds. Okay, let's add a space here, for requesting refunds in case if you want, if you wish to or want to cancel booking, and a full stop, close the statement and save the file. Now let's try this and create a booking. So open any upcoming workshop and go to its detail page and fill the booking form. Okay, so let's switch to the browser, and in the browser here you can see that we have so many upcoming workshops. So let's open this first one. Okay, and here you can see that total seats 100, remaining seats 96. Okay, so now we will create booking for this workshop. Okay, so let's create a booking for myself. Okay, and suppose you want to book tickets for five, you want to book 5 tickets for this workshop. Okay, and now let's provide the card details. Let's see, month, let's say March, and year 2023. Okay, so okay, so after filling this booking form, let's submit it. Here you can see that the booking has been confirmed. Okay, the booking has been confirmed, but it is confirmed on the stripe. Okay, and here you can see that hello Ravi Kashyap, here is your booking id, and we are not seeing any text here. Okay, it means the booking has been rolled back. Okay, and if you can see that in the logs, that go to the terminal where your project is running. Okay, and after scrolling this you can see that transaction has been rolled back. Why? Because the order number is not saved yet. The reason is that we already applied presence to validation on the order number attribute, but we are setting its value into before create callback, so that this will not work, because validation will get failed at the time of creation, and transaction for creating a booking into applications database will be rollback. Okay, now let me show you that is thing in the booking model. Okay, so here you can see that before create, and we have validation presence true. If you remove this presence to validation, then this will definitely work, because this will not check the value of this order bookings order number. This will only match that whether it is unique or not. Okay, so this will work if you remove presence to from the before create validation, then your before create callback will work. Okay, but we have presence to validation, so before create callback will not work. Why? Because it will fail at the time of the validation, because at the validation we have no value for the order number, and as we know that validation invoked before the transaction begin. Okay, so what we need to do here, we need to use before validation callback. Okay, so to get this callback, but we need to change the callback from before create to before validation. Okay, so let's do this change. Okay, so just replace this before create to before validation. Okay, so now we made the change and save the file. Okay, now let's try to book the tickets for same workshop. Okay, go to the workshop booking page first, close all the remaining tabs. Okay, and let me book the ticket for the same form. Okay, let's close this pop-up flash message, and now submit the booking form. Okay, and this time you will see that a order number will be generated. Here you can see that hello Ravi Singh Kashyap, here is your booking ID, and you can see that booking ID for the, this is the booking order number for this booking for the workshop for the customer Ravi Singh Kashyap. Okay, and this booking ID is unique per order and will be required for requesting refunds in case if you wish to cancel booking. And you can also check that thing in the log, that now if you can see into the logs that your booking has been confirmed and it is created and transaction is run successfully. Okay, so here you need to notice the difference between before create and before validation callback as well. Okay, so let me explain again that why the before create callback does not work the first time, because we added the presence to validation. Okay, and we have called the before create callback, and that will check the whether the order number does have a value or not. Okay, if order number has not a no values, then it will fail at the time of validation. Okay, so that's why before create has not worked that time, and before validation does. And if you remove this presence to validation, then before create callback will work. Why? Because at the time of the object instantiation or object creation, it will not check the value for the order number, that whether the value for order number is present or not. It will only check that whatever the value you are providing is unique or not. Okay, so this is the difference between before validation and before create callback. So let's remember this point, that whenever you add validation presence to validation to some attribute, and if you want to set some default value for that attribute using some callback, then use before validation callback always, not the before create. Okay, and one more thing regarding callbacks is their order in an active record model. Okay, so here you can see that we already had this callback after create update workshop seat count. Okay, now we defined before validation callback about this. Okay, so you must define the before validation callback or before create callback before the after create callback. Okay, because if you change the order, for example, if you do it like this, then you will get an active record error. Why? Because it will check the validations line callbacks line by line, and it will execute the after create callback first, and you will see an error, and your transaction will be rollback. Why? Because after create callback will get executed first, and before validation callback will get executed later. Okay, so the order of these callbacks is also matters. So this is the thing regarding the callbacks that you need to notice and remember. Okay, and that's it. Now, before ending this lecture, let's discuss a bug that we saw in this lecture. Okay, that even booking has been rolled back. Okay, so you see that whenever before create callback failed, that booking has been confirmed on the Stripe and customer has been charged, but booking in our applications database has been rollback. It means that we don't have any track record that which customer booked that booking or that workshop into our database, but we have information on the Stripe. Okay, and this is a serious bug that we must avoid, because in this case we will not have any booking details for the customer, so we cannot process their refund request. Okay, so we will resolve this in next lecture. Okay, and what we will do there, that whenever a booking rollback into the applications database, okay, then we will immediately remove the booking from the Stripe and refund the amount to the customer as well. Okay, and we will resolve this bug into the next lecture. Okay, so that's all from this lecture, and thank you for watching this. Let's meet into the next lecture. Till then, tata, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.